open the door, lean your dishwasher back up, and reinstall the nut. You can do this by hand. And rehook up your wire. And that's done with the heater testing and replacement. Alright, let's look at your overflow valve. This is your overflow. This is the cover. To remove it, you got one screw right here. And take the hook off. And you can take the cap off. And this right here, as you hear it click. So when there's no water, the flow is down, so it's closed the switch on the dishwasher to allow water to fill into the tub. And when water gradually fill in the tub, it gradually bring the switch back, blow the floater back up, and open the switch under there to stop the water from overfilling the dishwasher tub. Let's put this back and check our floater switch at the bottom. You see this hook right here? When you put it in, it's gonna go under and back on the top. Let's flip over the dishwasher. Y'all can see clearly. That's your overflow switch. And right here is your water valve. If there's no water fill into your dishwasher tub, first you need to make sure there's power to the unit. And that's where your power connection, make sure there's power there, and make sure your timer is set on the right position. And quick way to test is, and another one is checking, make sure your water supply line is fully open. And after all that is complete and everything good, you gonna have to check your flow switch, overflow switch, and your water fill valve. To test this, the quickest way to do is make sure your timer is on and it's into the right position to fill in the water, and turn your voltmeter onto voltage. And unplug your power connect to the water fill valve coil, and you can test your power right here. You should have power coming down here from the timer, from the switch, and this is from the timer, go to your switch, come out and go to your water fill valve. You should have 120 volt if your timer is working good and your flow switch is closed, and you should have 120. If you don't have 120 here, you're gonna have to check your flow switch and make sure the timer is working correctly. Let's look at the flow switch. There's a clip right here. You take it out, and you see that's your flow switch. To test this, take your wire off, and set your voltmeter to continuity. Okay. You see that handle? That's open and close your switch. When no water, this should be down, and you should have a continuity. And when water fill up, that's open. This switch is working perfectly. And after you test it, is any result different than this, your switch is defective, need to be replaced. You put the wire back, slide it back in here, and pop that back in, and that's done with that. And you can pass the pin wire to one of your common, that's your wire in red. See if you got 120 came from the timer. If there's no power from the pink color wire from the timer, your timer is defective, or maybe you got wire broken somewhere. And let's see how we can replace the water valve. You make sure all the breaker is cut off, there's no power to the unit. Unplug the wire, unhook your supply line, and you always expect there's going to be some water come out from there. And you got your valve right here, got 4 screws. So we're gonna remove it. Right here you got 2 screws right here, and that's a 5/16. And before you remove that 2 screws, make sure you remove the connection right here. Take your valve down. You see there's a water hole with the clamp on. Use your needle nose, remove the clamp. And remove your water valve and replace it with a new one. Let's say this is a new one, we put it back in, slide it back, put your clamp back in to position, and slide that into the slot. Put your 2 screws back on. After that, reinstall your power and reinstall your supply line and turn everything back on. That's it for how to check, test your heater switch, your heater and your overflow switch and your water valve for the dishwasher.